So what information is on a food label, right? So we have nutrition facts and ingredients on the food label, and that's the two areas that we're going to talk about today. And just kind of, okay, how do we read these? How does it work, right? Why do they have that information on food labels? And we're gonna get into that right now. So the ingredients, first off, this is where we're gonna start with. So the ingredients list includes all of the ingredients that are in the product, right? So when you have the list, so it always starts with the heaviest or what it's made most of, right? So it kind of goes by weight, and the heavy ingredients is listed first, and then the lighter ingredients are listed last. So this one here, just as an example, as Smucker strawberry jam. So the first ingredient is strawberry juice, right? And the reason we talked a little bit about this before, the reason why it has all of that sugar is because they use the high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup, right? So those are the second and third ingredient, right? So it does have quite a lot of sugar within it, but that's how the ingredients work, right? So this is what you can use to see, okay, these are ingredients that I don't even know what they are. So that kind of triggers you to go maybe look it up and then really want to focus and want to make sure that you're eating everything as natural as possible, right? Because this one here, obviously, strawberry jam should just be made up of strawberries, maybe a little bit of water, a little bit of sugar or something in it. But again, it should just be strawberries. So this one here has 5 more ingredients that, again, you don't really need. And the 2 last ones there, they're just preservatives. And the ingredients list, again, that's really useful to see what's actually in your ingredients and in your actual product that you're buying, especially if you have food allergies or any intolerances, right? So if, say, you're lactose intolerant, you can then see if it does have milk in it, and that's where you're going to find that information. All right, so nutrition facts. We're gonna go through about 5 steps. So step 1, we're gonna look at serving size. Step 2, we're gonna look at calories and kind of where to find that and how to read it. Look at the percentage of daily value. So that's the percentage DV that you always see in the top right-hand corner. Again, we'll go over that. We'll try to get more of certain nutrients, and then we're going to step 5, try to get less of certain nutrients. So let's get into that now. Why not? So step 1, looking at the serving size. So all products and stuff, they have their suggested serving. So that's what it is. It's a suggested serving size of whatever the product is, right? So some cereals actually might have a different serving size than other cereals, depending on what's in it, depending on a lot of different things, but that's what you should really focus on, is that serving. So the serving size at the top of the nutrition facts, all the information of the nutrition facts table is based on this amount, right? So the calories, how much fat, how much sugar, how much everything is actually based on that 1 cup in this example. So it's 1 cup or 250 milliliters. That's what it's taking off of the example. So comparing this amount of food that you eat, so for example, like if you're having 2 cups, right? If it suggests as 1 cup, you're having 2 cups, or again, 500 milliliters. You have to double everything that's in here, right? So for instance, this says 22 grams of sugar, it's very high. So if you have 2 cups of whatever this is, then you're going to have 44% or 44 grams of sugar, right? So that is quite high. And yeah, so again, you just kind of, if you're having half, you just cut this in half, right? So it's kind of that easy to kind of base it off of. And then step number 2, we're going to look over here at the calories, right? So calories for this is 110 for 1 cup. Again, if you have 2 cups, it's 220, and so on and so forth. So the number of calories is based, again, on the serving size. So you want to, again, this is the energy that's in the actual food, right? It doesn't tell you anything about the nutrients or anything. It's the macros. It's what it's made up of for energy-wise. So again, if you want to kind of keep either calories down, or like we were talking before, kind of keeping your BMR, at least your BMR, and then kind of keeping it up, your base metabolic rate. So this is really how you can calculate how much calories is within stuff, right? So looking on the back, looking at the calories, that is based on, again, the portion size. You have to check the portion size first, because if you're saying if that's in the whole thing, most drinks too can even be like, this is half of this serving, not the whole drink itself, right? So you really have to make sure that you're looking at the calories, but looking at the actual the serving size, right? So that is where the calorie is, and that's kind of how it works. So over here is DV. So a lot of people actually get this wrong. So DV stands for your daily value. So this is actually based off of an estimate, right? So it's based off of an average. So it averages that your daily intake should be around 2,000 calories per day. This is the average between men and women. So that is actually based off of the percentage of what you should have in a day, right? So for this example, in 1 cup, you have 22 grams or 22% of your daily intake of sugar, right? So your sugar should be, again, this is 22% of it if you have 1 cup. It's not the percentage of sugar that's in the product, if that makes sense. So there's 22 grams of sugar in the product. It's not made up of 22% sugar. That's based on how much you're actually should have, right, on that average, right? So some people might have more. So for myself, I should have like over 3,000 calories per day. So this is actually going to be a lot less percentage, right? It's not going to be 22% for me. If you have to eat less than, say, 2,000 calories, right? If for some reason you have to eat underneath that, then it's going to be a higher percentage for you, right? So this is based off 2,000. Okay, if you're eating any out of that, it's going to be a different percentage for yourself. So just looking at the grams is very important in those cases. So anything that is 5 DV or daily value is little of the actual nutrients, right? So for instance, here, calcium, you have 30 milligrams. So you have 2%, right? That is quite low. It's very low. Potassium is a little closer to 15%, which is more, right? Sugar, 22%, that's very high. Anything over 15%, it would be considered high for your DV. And then the percentage of DV is meant to act, again, as a benchmark to determine if the food is high or low in certain nutrients, right? So then you can kind of look quickly, okay, this is very high in sugar because it's over 15%. And then calcium here is pretty low. It's not really a good source of calcium in this case. So yeah, it's a little bit low. But that's how you read it, right? So that a lot of people get that wrong where they think the DV means the percentage of sugar in the actual food, right? So if, for instance, if this is a granola bar, very sugary one, it's not 22% made of sugar, right? So that's daily intake. All right, step 4, try to get more of these nutrients, right? So fiber. So fiber, a lot of people are getting a lot less fiber than they need. And yeah, just make sure that you're actually getting fiber within stuff. Same thing as we were talking before, 5% or less is a little bit of fiber, and then 15% or more is a lot of fiber within that, right? So you want to get 100% of fiber in the day. So again, looking at kind of the foods that you eat, and a lot of fruits and vegetables and stuff that don't really have a nutrition facts, that's where you're going to get a lot of that fiber and stuff. So really having those plants and stuff within your diet is really important. Vitamin A, vitamin C, very important, especially vitamin D as well. So vitamin C and D go hand in hand. So you're going to need a little bit of both. Iron and calcium, really important for, again, bone health. And then trying to stay away from these. So fats, saturated fats, trans fats, right? So saturated fats, trans fats, fat in general, right? It's hard. You want to kind of stay, not necessarily stay away, but kind of cut down on your portions for, as we were talking before, for fats, because it does have a lot of energy, right? So like anything like cheese and stuff, not having a fist size, right? Having a thumb size is just really good. Again, kind of watching the portion sizes. And that is actually why it has that the portions on the back. So even on cheese and stuff, you'll see the portions, it's not half a cup of cheese. It's actually reduced quite a bit because of the amount of fat and stuff that's in it. Sodium, a lot of people actually getting way too much sodium. So especially if you're having fast foods or any takeout foods, it's loaded with sodium. So again, cutting that down is really important. You still do need sodium, so don't cut it out completely, obviously. But again, reducing it down, and then certain things will have natural sodium within it as well. Kind of like that example that we've seen. It had a little bit of sodium, but again, it was pretty low. And then cholesterol. So anything that is an animal product, so like butter and those type of things, like red meats and things. So you want to reduce those down, especially if you have high cholesterol and you're taking, say, like high cholesterol pills for it. Any animal products will have some sort of cholesterol in it. It's just the animal makes cholesterol. We make cholesterol. We actually don't have to consume it. Our bodies will create it actually for ourselves. So again, staying away from butter. Butter is really good. Again, staying away completely from margarine is really important because it's pretty much chemically made. But butter itself, unless you have high cholesterol, I mean, it's good to use. It is quite natural. But yeah, just make sure that you're staying away from some animal products if you do have high cholesterol. So just want to make sure of that. And then pick better choices. So again, this here is just kind of an example. So cereal A, cereal B, kind of use that example at the beginning, but looking at the portion sizes, right? So 2 different cereals have 2 different portion sizes. So one of them is half a cup, one of them is 3/4 of a cup, or 28 grams and 30 grams. So again, really making sure that you're not looking at the same, because if you pick up these 2 cereals, right, you're looking at, say, just the calories, you're looking at the fibers, you're looking at this, right? You could be looking at one that's like half a cup and one that's a cup, right? So you really want to look at the portion sizes first. That's why it's at the top. And then looking at the calories and then making your way down the list. So again, looking at these 2, cereal A looks like it definitely better for you just because it has, again, 28% of your daily fiber. It has, again, the same, a little bit less sugar, a little bit more protein, but the calories are the same, and you're eating a little bit less of the cereal A than you are cereal B. So again, this is a good way this is how you would compare 2 things together. That's what it's actually designed for, right? It's designed to quickly pick up 2 products or 3 and then just making those choices. Okay, this one here is a bit more healthy than the other one. And then we have another example here as well. So product 1, product 2. So these are 2 types of burgers. So which one is better for you, right? So we want to look at the, first off, the portion sizes. So they're exactly the same. It's per burger patty. So we have 85 grams, 85 grams. Looking now down to the calories. So calories is burger 1 has 210 calories and burger 2 has 123. Right. So first off, is looking at burger 2 is better. Now, if we look down to fats, right? So again, that 15%, both of them are over the 15%, but it is burger. So usually processed meat like that does have pretty high fats. So this one here, burger 2 has 17% fats, saturated fats. The burger 1 has 28% and 38% saturated fats. That is very high. Like we were saying, anything over 15 is high. This is a little bit more than double that. Sodium level, again, burger 1, sodium level is almost double of the burger 2. So again, you want to bring that sodium level down, just because again, most people do get more sodium than normal in a day-to-day basis. Burger 2 actually even has more protein, has more iron and stuff. So obviously the product 2, that burger there, is the burger that you want to go for. So that is what we wanted to talk about today. So yeah, that's what we want to talk about today. So hopefully you guys know a little bit more about how to read nutritional labels and ingredients as well. So if you have any questions, again, comment down below, send me a message. I would be happy to discuss that with you. But hopefully everybody has a fantastic day and see you all later. Bye.